Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We're going to be watching several waves of cold air plunging into the prairie here, especially as we get toward the end of the week and over the weekend. And the most severe of that cold is going to be felt over towards central and southern portions of Alberta and portions of western Saskatchewan. As you look at the precipitation forecast, we've got another chance for some accumulating snow across southern portions of especially Alberta and Saskatchewan, that with another late week system. We're going to watch the flow here set up to kind of favor eastern areas here as we get into the 7 to 10 day forecast time range. So we look at the satellite picture here on this Monday morning, watching a storm system track off to the north and getting out of the area. We're going to have a quiet start to the week here in terms of precipitation across the immediate prairie area. Perhaps some light flurries today as we head through the day across southern portions of Manitoba, but not looking for anything in the way of significant accumulating snow today or for the next 48 hours, really, as we look at the high-resolution Canadian model here, taking this all the way through Tuesday evening, watching for some light snow across northern portions of Alberta as we get into Tuesday evening and Tuesday night, but none of that falling here across the primary prairie region. As we take a look at the upper-level pattern as we head into, again, the next 7 to 10 days, the big feature we're going to be watching is this ridge of high pressure in the Gulf of Alaska. Let me take us out to the weekend here, and you see this big ridge across the Gulf of Alaska forcing a lot of warm air northward here again across the Gulf of Alaska, and this trough deepening here across the Canadian Prairie that's going to allow for some colder air, again, to settle into the region, especially late this week and over the weekend. That's also going to take the precipitation forecast, the storm track here, taking that ridge of high pressure again across the Gulf of Alaska, deflecting much of the precipitation northward and away from western portions of Canada. Now, we do again see a little system sneak through late in the week that's going to bring some snow to southern portions of Alberta and Saskatchewan, but as we get into the end of the weekend, into early next week, really just going to be looking for some light opportunities for some precipitation, generally north and east of the prairie, with this major ridge setting up. An active subtropical jet stream that'll keep things stormy across central and southern portions and then southwestern portions of the U.S., but it'll be well south of the prairie, not seeing any of the impacts from the subtropical jets, certainly across the prairie region. Now, as we look at the European model, taking a Canadian or a Canada-focused look at the precipitation forecast, trying to pin down each of these storm systems, we'll watch the one that brings the snow here to portions of central and southern Alberta really begin to set up as we get into the end of the week and over the weekend. You're seeing here before that a chance for maybe some light snow flurries Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the best chance for any accumulating snow is going to be found north of Highway 16 across northern Saskatchewan and then north central portions of Manitoba as we get into Thursday. But again, much of that missing the prairie and then much of that not really doing much in the way of accumulation until we get to the end of the week. Again, across southern portions of Alberta, southern portions of Saskatchewan, with this system now that you're seeing swing into the southern portions of the area at the late part of the week. Here's what I'm trying to get out, a kind of a mouthful that I'm wording terribly. We're into Friday, though, looking at this forecast solution here. So all the way into Friday now, watching this system sneak off across southern portions of Alberta, expanding into southern portions of Saskatchewan as we get into Saturday morning, being kind of forced southward by a couple areas of high pressure here. They're kind of acting to keep this thing from progressing much across the prairie, but still a chance for some light snow spreading into southern Manitoba as we get into Sunday. But again, this several days out into the future. We'll have time to talk about this both Wednesday and Friday, trying to pin down some of the changes. My bigger message is that it's a mostly quiet work week across the prairie. I don't expect much in the way of accumulating precipitation, again, unless you're well north of Highway 16 during the early part of the week. But across the primary prairie region here, a dry week, maybe some light snow flurries Wednesday and Thursday before the better chance for some accumulating snow across southwestern portions of the prairie as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A couple look at some different solutions here. The European model in the top left, the American GFS model in the top right, the Canadian long-range model here bottom center. And again, this falling Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but certainly the opportunity for some significant snowfall kind of along the U.S. border with Alberta and Saskatchewan. That's where we could talk about 15 to 25 centimeters of snow, but once again, still 5 to 6 days to go before we get to this point. Much of this area remaining dry, if not, picking up maybe a trace or a light coating of snow up until that point. A really quiet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday across the prairie. So you look at the temperatures, again, watching things moderate slightly as we head through the middle part of the week, but another push a very cold air sinking into especially western half of the prairie here, kind of looking at all of Alberta, and then central and southern Saskatchewan tapping into some of that really cold air. Still trending about 5 degrees cooler than average across Manitoba, but again, as we get into Friday through Sunday, really watching for the core of that coldest air to set up across this region here. So as we take a look at the 10-day forecast, Calgary, you exemplify that very well. Again, the moderation of the temperatures here midweek with that plunge here, the coldest days here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, high temperatures between 10 to 15 below zero. A similar look here in Edmonton, that next cold surge of air Friday through Sunday. Saskatoon timing it out similarly. Regina very similarly. And then over in Winnipeg, a little bit, not quite as severe. Still seeing those temperatures fall off here as we get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but those highs still sticking around 6 or 7 degrees above or below zero here instead of the 10 to 15 degrees below zero that they'll be feeling off to the west in the Calgary area. Hope you have a great day, wonderful start to your week, and we'll check back in on Wednesday with those opportunities for cold temperatures and accumulating snow across the prairie as we head into the weekend.